pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Snellings.
Present.
Ferris.
Here.
Behrens.
Here.
Keating.
Present.
Beichman. Schrader. Fromm.
Here.
Garacki.
Present.
7-0. We have a quorum.
Thank you. First up, we have approval of minutes from the August 12th meeting.
Move to approve regular minutes, August 12, 2024, as written.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have public comments. If anyone from the community would like to come forward and speak at this time, please do so.
The lady of the hour.
Good evening. I'll go first in case anybody else is not super excited yet. Mandy Cook, Marysville Public Library Director. Thanks so much again for allowing me to come and speak to you. As always, I won't read your letter to you, but I think it's really important to make sure that you just hear about the awesome things that continue to go on at the library. We have been on break from our summer programs, ended about mid-July, and so in the few weeks that we have been on break, we still have been having programs. We still have 150 people or so participated in programs over those last weeks, and I just think that that's awesome. My staff is really, really great, and they keep things going even when it says we're on break. We really aren't. Our couple of other things that are on here, I had an opportunity to present to Rotary a couple weeks ago, and these were the types of things that people just forget that we have. And so I just thought, well, I don't have a whole ton of programming information to give to you. Maybe I wanted to make sure that you knew that about the other services that we have. So interlibrary loan, it expands the things that you can order from our library, which is awesome. And then also, if you just aren't able to make it to the library during our working hours, we can have things put for you out in the library locker. So that's pretty awesome. And if I seem kind of tired, it's because our program started today. So it was really loud after school again, which is my favorite time. So I'm very excited to start things back up. And the last thing that I'm going to leave you with is when I think at my last presentation, I told you that we were going to have the Wamego Public Library staff here to talk, and we just had a really nice day of just talking to each other and figuring out better ways to do things. Librarians definitely don't reinvent the wheel, we ask. And about halfway through, one of them stopped me and said, "Now, do you really have programming 4 times a week after school?" This is a bigger library than we have. They have double the staff amount that we do. They have access to Manhattan and the people who go in and out. And they were asking us, "You do that much programming?" I think that's pretty awesome. So I just, again, wanted to do a shout out to my staff and thank you for all your support. Do you have any questions, or do you want me to talk to you about something else the next time I come? All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Mandy. All right. Is there anyone else who would like to come forward under public comments? Seeing none, we will move on to business and discussion items. First up, we have the temporary suspension of the UPOC code for the Trail Life and American Heritage Girl Troops. I believe we've done this before,
Yes, every year.
and we've had no issue.
years.
Yeah, I was going to say we've had no issues in the past.
Move to approve the suspension of UPOC Code Section 10.6 on August 28th for the Trail Life and Heritage Girls Troops. Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have Resolution 2024-16, cleanup at 600 North 15th.
Move to approve Resolution 2024-16.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have the resolution 2024-17.
Move to approve resolution number 2024-17.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have resolution 2024-18, support for the CDBG Kester block.
Move to approve Resolution 2024-18, support for the CDBG Kester.
Second.
Okay, it's moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. And lastly, under business and discussion, we have the Marshall County Sports and Rec contract for 2025-29.
Move to approve Marshall County Sports and Rec contract for 2025 to 2029.
Second.
Okay. I would mention under this was worked on with the Parks and Rec Committee and found that this is a really probably great way for us to keep the program growing and successful moving for the next handful of years. So it's a really good deal to put this together. All right, is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, we have notices and hearings. Josh, do you want to speak to the revenue neutral rate?
Let's see.
Open the hearing first.
Oh, this is a hearing, isn't it?
Yep.
All right, so I just declared the hearing open for discussion of the revenue neutral rate.
Okay, so the revenue neutral rate was calculated at 66.202 mils by the Marshall County Clerk's Office. We have suggested that we levy a property tax rate of 69.743 mils. This aligns with previous rate of mills from the past few years, and it should give us enough funding in order to, salaries, roads, all that stuff, so.
Okay, and allow us to move forward with hopefully some of the projects that we've had on the docket for a number of years and finally get going with those. Is there any public comment on the exceeding of the revenue neutral rate by the city of Marysville, the proposal to exceed the revenue neutral rate? Okay.
Can I?
Yeah.
So, I guess I just want to point out that I think the biggest thing that's driving this mill rate increase is probably employee expenses, correct?
In general, the personal expenses, the personnel expenses are the higher expenses. I wouldn't say that it is what is
Yeah,
driving
right.
it. We gave them a 3% increase for cost of living adjustment, just like what happened last year with Social Security. So in fact, we're actually a year behind what it was. So I think Social Security this year was 2.7, so next year we might be 2.7,
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, seeing no further comment, I'll close this hearing on the revenue neutral rate. And we will move forward with, then you make a motion. This is new to me. All right, so I need a motion
Close
to
it.
move forward with resolution 2024-19 to levy a property tax rate exceeding the revenue neutral rate.
I'll make a motion for Resolution 2024-19.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
I do need this as roll call, please.
Roll call?
Snelling,
Yes.
Ferris,
Yes.
Barron's,
Yes.
Keating,
Yes.
Bikeman,
No.
Schrader, gone. Thrum,
Yes.
Gurecki.
Yes.
6-0, or 6-1, I'm
6-1.
sorry.
Thank you. Okay, then do I open the 2025? I was gonna say,
Sorry.
move forward with opening the 2025 budget hearing. for discussion of the 2025 budget. Have in your minute, or in your packet. Is there any comment or discussion on the 2025 budget? If not, I would seek a motion to approve it.
Move to approve the 2025 budget.
Second.
Yes. Oh yeah, we can't do it while we're in hearing.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, seeing no discussion, I close the hearing, and then I would like to see a motion.
Make a motion to approve the 2025 budget.
You'll second that?
I'll second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded
Do I
to
need to
approve the
retract
20.
my other motion?
No, it didn't count.
Yeah.
Yep. It's moved and seconded to approve the 2025 budget. Is there any further discussion?
I guess the only discussion I had is, Keith, if you approve the budget, which drives the revenue neutral rate, I guess I'm just curious, and you don't have to tell us, but why you voted against increasing that rate, I guess.
I just have my reasons.
Okay, that's
I'll
all
just
I
leave
need
it
to
at
know.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everybody. That's my first time through that process, so I appreciate the patience. All right, seeing no other notices and hearings, we'll move forward with the consent agenda.
Move to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved to approve the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
7-0.
Thank you. Next up, we have appropriations ordinance number 3829.
Move to approve appropriation ordinance 3829, the amount of $690,061.34.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Roll call?
Snellings,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Barron's,
Yes.
Keating,
Yes.
Beichman, Crum,
Yes.
Gurecki.
Yes.
7-0.
Thank you. Next, we have the city administrator report. Josh?
Let's see, so we had an eventful week at the chamber. It was flooded due to a stool overflowing. It's cleaned and dried now, so we're just trying to get everything back in place. That way Wayne has a place to work. So we might be looking at doing a different type of flooring, maybe painting, just to spruce it up a little bit after all that.
Do we know what caused the overflow?
We do, yep. It was in the stool, sanitary products.
And not intentional?
I would hope not, yeah, I don't think so.
Okay, that's the main thing I wanted to know. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. There was a tree that broke in front of the high school, so it might affect traffic tomorrow for anybody driving in front of the high school. They'll have cones blocking it off. They hope to start working in the morning, and then I would hope be done before school gets over. We received 2 proposals for the Charles J.D. Kester House RFP. So we'll be opening those and looking at them and then getting in touch with the different groups, so that way we can set the meeting and go ahead and have, discussions with them about what their proposals exactly are.
Great.
We have the waivers at City Hall and at the pool, if anybody wants to sign the pet waivers for September 2nd. As a reminder, that's September 2nd from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The pool will be open for everybody else from 1 to 5. And then they'll have an hour break to get ready for that event. Let's see. Starting this Wednesday, we're going to have a cup of joe with Josh from 8:30 to 10 a.m. at City Hall. It's going to be on the 1st and 4th Wednesdays of the month. We'll be providing coffee, and I'll be there. I can have some other city employees there. That way, if anybody is interested and has questions for us, we'll be available here. Especially with, the new budget, and then with the water rate discussions. We just want to make sure that we're available for people who have any questions or any concerns about it. You know, and I'm always available by phone if people can't make it in person, so. Let's see. So that'll be this Wednesday, but then I know the next Wednesday is the first Wednesday of the month, but we already have something scheduled, so that one, we're gonna take it off, and then we'll go back to first and fourth from then on. And then, let's see, the employee picnic, we just need to know who's all attending from council members and families.
What's the date on the picnic under?
14th, Saturday.
If anybody hasn't been, I didn't get to go last year
Great time.
because I happened to be in the hospital, but I went the year before, and it's a lot of fun, you know.
What
Good
time?
food and,
It's gonna start at 4, the food will be at 5:30.
We decided at 5:30, that way the shift change for PD would make
Oh,
sense.
that's good.
And it's catered food, so.
Is it, I
Yeah.
didn't know if it was potluck, but.
No, it's
It's not.
catered.
who's catering that?
Ricky's. So, if you guys don't know yet, just get in touch with us before the end of the week, so that way we can know, who's all going and how many from your family might be going, so. And that should be everything.
Thank you, Josh.
Oh, actually, one more thing.
Sure.
We received the 12th Road, Keystone, and 11th Terrace design back from BG. So we're going over that with him, hoping to get more details from him on it, and a total cost breakdown. So he just gave us the total amount for now.
And when you get a little further along, you'll send that out for everyone to review?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, thank you, Josh. Next up, we have standing committee reports. Nordis Motor Storm Sewer proposals. You have got some of the proposals in your packet. We met and discussed with the water department and the committee on these proposals. With Kent's help, we kind of thought a hybrid of a couple of the proposals was probably the best way to go. So you get 3 options, and we didn't actually choose any of those options. But because of the depth and some of the boring that would be required on a couple of these, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a hybrid of, 12 and 10?
Yep.
12 and what?
10.
12 and 10, that we thought might work to get all the water out that needed, get it moved, but with the minimal amount of disruption to traffic and boring under the highway at pretty significant depth, because if you've been up, if you've traveled south on 15th Street, you'll notice coming to Center, you actually come up, so the water can't go uphill to get back or down to Broadway. It has to go under the highway at a great depth. So as much as we can, because this will all have to be cut and covered more than likely, not bored. So the less we have to do that, the better, because it'll be, how many feet deep did they say? 14?
I think they were talking about 15 feet.
14,
yeah.
15 feet.
And the whole reason why we're talking about this again is, even though council had previously chosen a design, the cost of the design did go up about $1 million. And since we were not approved for that amount of funding, obviously we went back and tried to figure out what other types of options there were there.
That's what I'm looking
So that's how we got a new design, which is design 12.
10.
So yeah, unfortunately, the costs have gone up on this, and we don't expect them to go down. There is a little bit of, I want to call it fluff, put into that in case it does go high, so that it doesn't cause issues later. So we can hope that the bid comes in significantly lower than this, but there's no guarantees on that, of course.
So this hybrid option between 10 and 12, is this going to be a one thing and done, or is this breaking that up into 2 different phases?
One and done.
Should just be one
Okay.
page. yeah.
So,
It'll be
He's
mostly
coming back
like,
with a new
He'll-
drawing.
Okay,
He'll
because I
come-
knew it
Well,
was
you'll
discussed that
see
maybe
that
to do
proposal.
what
Yeah,
we
we'll-
had to do
we'll
and
see
do
it
the other
again.
part later.
10's gonna be the closest.
Yeah, 10's the closest to what it was designed at.
Right.
But no, before we vote on it again, it'll be brought back for us to see the final plan of it.
Correct. 'Cause, yeah,
30% done with the plan, is
30%?
I thought he
Okay.
said. So,
So hopefully by the maybe next council meeting, we'll have this 2 weeks, so we can have it to mull over and discuss. I mean, we did go into pretty great detail as far as the different inlets along 15th and why they were historically the way they were maybe, and how we can solve some future problems by doing this
It is
right.
turned. It needs to be turned because.
Josh, I don't know, was there anything else we needed to discuss on it?
No, I don't
This
believe
is
so.
Carolina. This is center.
But you can see notated on there the diameter, proposed diameter. This is going to be engineered, so I believe what he called, is it a 100-year flood, a 10-year flood? 10-year flood. So if the catch basins, if there aren't as many catch basins, the ones that will be there will be much larger. So they'll be able to handle, they'll be engineered to handle any of the potential, huge
Correct.
snowfalls we'll see going forward. So, is there any questions on any of these proposals? I know not everybody's on the committee, obviously, so.
Yeah.
But like I said, hopefully CES will be back next council meeting with the revised 10 or 10 2.0 for us to review with numbers so we can move forward. Okay, are there any other committee reports? That was the only committee I believe we had, committee meeting we had. I see no appointments or wage determinations. Our city attorney has graced us with his presence tonight. Aaron, do you have anything to share with us?
Currently reviewing the lease agreement from Frontier on the Kester Block properties.
Okay.
Ordered a certificate of title, just to verify there's no liens or other encumbrances that would affect this process. And have a case management hearing that Judge Weingard's going to set the date on so we can get the Larnick issue straightened out and taken care of.
Good to hear.
So, and in that, we're basically just going to join the new owner, to the suit and just proceed that direction.
Okay. Anything else in progress?
That's all.
Okay. Anybody have anything for the city attorney? Any questions or anything while he's here? No?
204 Calhoun.
isn't that south, is that on there?
It's on the next page, Aaron.
That's what it is.
That's what he said,
Okay.
that he's gonna, he's getting,
It's-
getting it dismissed.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're having to go through the processes to, to get the hearings, back rolling again, and then get the new owner added to,
Do the process.
yeah,
Okay.
so.
All right. Thank you very much. Does anyone see a need for an executive session this evening? No? Okay, we'll move on to council comments. Lori? Three?
I just wanted to mention, Courtney, the pool being open over the weekend or whatever, she said it was kind of difficult because slime would get on the bottom of the pool with no activity, so she was undermining a plan to take care of that, but out in the parking lot, there were so many different county plates. It was, I don't know how much cash extra she took in than what would be normal as somebody having a pass. There was a lot of out-of-state plates.
There's a lot out
Out of
of
county.
county. Yep.
Yeah.
There
Well,
was
there's
even
some
late
Nebraska.
late
There
at
were-
night.
There were 3 Nebraska plates just right up front where everybody's pool's closed.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's it.
Thank you. Colleen?
Nothing.
Jeff?
Nope.
Keith?
No.
Kevin?
Yes, the Wayfair sign in front of the movie theater, the green bottom has
Yep.
come loose on it.
Again.
Yeah, we already know about it. I thought they were going out today, but we'll check on it again tomorrow.
Okay.
Yep.
On those, have we gone and looked at all the ones we haven't fixed already, just as
Yeah, they've
proactively?
taken,
Okay.
a detail about it,
Have a
but I
big
mean,
list.
Assumed.
that just happens sometimes and then.
Yeah, I get it.
So I have a question about that. So are we done purchasing those signs?
No, it's been requested that we do another round of, and so as that comes in, then I think it'll be presented in front of council at that
Okay.
point.
I didn't think we were done, but I wasn't sure.
My understanding of is that the company that made these owns the copyright on the design. So if we don't purchase from them, we may have to get creative, but that's where the conversation I think is a little bit around. Because we don't own the design, unfortunately.
Or we have some coming that say like mayor this way, city administrator this way.
We can work on that.
So is there any kind of warranty or anything with them?
We've been working with them. There was no maintenance as a part of the original group that was bought. So, you know, we've been taking that on. We've bought the paint that we need. All that stuff. And we're having our street guys look at them after every storm. But, you know, obviously, then we still have ones that we miss or ones that just
Get loose later, we
Yeah.
weld them, we dig bigger holes, add more concrete.
Yeah,
It's
I would say
in-house.
the Convention and Tourism Committee would be who you'd want to talk to if you want to find out more about the sign
Okay.
for future.
Nothing else, Kevin?
No.
Kyle?
Yes, I received an email from a constituent just a little concerned with the shape of the cemetery and how tall it's getting. This person expressed empathy with how much rain we've been having this year. That's an anomaly, but they just made a comment that, you know, with us passing everything for the cemetery to have everything moved out of there, they don't think that it looks any better than when it was before with the previous rules we had in place. So just told that person that I would bring it to council's attention.
Okay. I think I maybe heard something similar. By the time I got up there, I believe it had been, I think it was weed eating specifically was the concern that was addressed to me.
Yeah, both weed eating
And then I went up there maybe 2 days later, and I noticed significantly better, and I hadn't said anything to anyone, so
Yeah,
I thought
I
that's a
just-
good sign. It
just-
means people were noticing.
Yeah, just
So,
wanted to bring it up.
and grass has been growing, and
Yeah.
it's kind of a different grass this time of year. You gotta keep your blade sharper, just get the mow slower. It feels like everything's a little more miserable. So. Crabgrass, indeed.
It's terrible.
Do you have anything else, Kyle?
No, sir.
Okay. We have under table and unresolved items, I'd like to just run through. Thank you for putting these on here. Although
Didn't print them
they're
all,
not,
so then I
they're
had
not
to staple them all
duplex,
together,
but that's fine. It's
whatever.
here, that's all that matters. One of these was 12th Road. I know we're going out, we're getting 11th Road taken care of soon enough, but I don't think it's any too soon to start coming up with a plan for 12th. Do we, this is I guess a question more for Josh than anyone, do we have kind of a first steps, what we need to do here, or are we pretty much still waiting on that report and we can use that to engender the next steps?
I mean, we have the design now, which is a great first step. There's a cost share program that was released a couple weeks ago,
Okay.
maybe 8 days ago, something like that, that we were looking to apply for this. I think we still have a month to do so, so we'll be doing that with BG.
Okay.
And then
We've got all the pieces we need.
depending on the size of the project, I would maybe try to join 11th Road onto it. But that's only if we do like 11th and 12th. Whereas if we do everything that's a part of the design, the cost share will not cover it. It's too big, so.
Okay. But you'll know more about the details by next meeting? Okay. Great. The fireworks amendment, I believe that's the one that the Police and Fire Committee was going to discuss and meet and discuss, and we just haven't got a meeting yet?
Mrs. Peaks was gonna have a procedure done, so, and we knew it wasn't a big rush because it's not till next year.
We have a couple months.
I told her that we would call her specifically
Okay.
when we're getting ready to have the meeting. And I do believe that Chief Simpson has done some research on it now.
Great.
And so,
And send an email.
right, and so, but Vernita's aware, I called her because she wanted to make sure when that meeting happened, she could come, and I told her we wouldn't happen you know, so it's probably not gonna happen till at least the end of September.
Okay, it's no hurry, just
No.
kind of keeping
But we
keeping
don't
track
wanna
of
leave
where.
her out of the loop.
Yep, perfect, okay. We have the water sewer connections required for separate buildings. I think, was this one that we were gonna send to the Water and Sewer Committee for discussion as well, maybe?
This is one that has already been at Water and Sewer Committee.
And here.
I know it was brought forward by a council member again, and, we're waiting to see where exactly they're wanting to go with it before we call a meeting, but it would just be the, like the shared lines, the party lines.
Party lines.
Party lines, yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's kind of in a holding pattern. We discussed 205 Calhoun, part of the meeting. Any update on that Eagle Scout project at the pool?
He called too late and he had no paperwork.
Okay.
So I did ask him to get me a design so everybody could look at it, where the new one would be for next meeting. So hopefully he can attend next meeting.
Yeah, he just lost his grandma,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, right, and that-
completely fine,
Right.
yes.
Yep.
Right.
All right, good deal. We did also meet on last Thursday regarding water sewer rates, and we're gonna get additional data on that, I believe, at some point. Did he give us a timeline when we could expect that?
No, once, I know
We're
he
not-
has other cities that
Yeah.
you know, are his clients, as, you know, it shouldn't take him too long once he sits down and does it though to get it back.
He said he
so.
loves crunching the numbers, so
Yeah.
I believe he'll do
It
it.
was obvious.
Yeah.
Okay, I have had a lot of questions about that still too, so that is, you know, available to be streamed online,
Yep,
remains
it's on-
online.
Yeah, it's on.
And I think the report is on our website now, I think, so.
Yeah, the entire report is,
Oh, okay,
so they can look at any part they want.
okay, great.
What's it posted under, or is it?
I believe it's the main page. Yeah, yeah, and then eventually we'll be putting up like a synopsis of it, so that way it's a little bit easier to digest.
It's some really good reading.
Oh, yeah.
The only other thing I had was, I know it's as hot as it was today, it's hard to think about, but are we prepared, salt and everything wise, for impending winter? We have everything
Yeah.
scheduled and on order, no concerns, no delays that
He's
we're
not
aware
saying
of?
that there's been any delays.
Okay, just making sure. It'll be coming before we know it.
Yeah, it's right on the front page, new water rate analysis report.
Perfect. Okay,
They
that's all.
are hoping to chip and seal. They were gonna do it tomorrow, but they think it won't be till Wednesday.
Okay.
First shoot. So the public kinda knows.
Good.
Where?
Wednesday.
No, which street?
We have the list of all the streets in our office, I just
But
did
most,
not bring
some,
it.
the first half is up around the hospital. They have to do that in a split shoot. So some of it's up there and I think the rest of it's down on Third.
And they have the list of roads available, they just don't have the schedule quite made up
Down on
yet.
Third, down by me, so,
Yeah.
okay.
But I think their priority was to try to get around up by the hospital, the half they could, so they could get back the second half next time.
The only other thing I had was, obviously, traffic has picked back up in town with school being back in force. The nice crosswalks are all being repainted is very nice and helpful, so appreciate the street crew doing that. And I noticed the PD has the radar trailer out on 10th Street, and that you can actually see people notice that and tap their brakes a little bit going south. So I'm really glad to see it's doing its job.
Anybody heard anything about the crosswalks on 15th, any?
I haven't heard anything about the crosswalks,
Up by Dargits?
right?
Done.
Huh?
They're
Yeah,
done.
well, I know they're done.
But comment-wise, no.
Yeah.
Just
I
compliments on them.
I have heard
What
some
they were
people
putting
up there
in,
say they wish we'd put stop signs at the other corners on Dargits as well, but there might be a limit to how many of those we want to put up there. So, but I'm not, no negative, real big negative comments, and I'm sure it's good for the neighborhood, so. All right. Does anybody else have any other comments or anything they'd like brought before council? Pretty short and sweet.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, so moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.